Okay, so numbers are, well, they're everywhere, right? From the grocery store to the sports stats on your phone. But here's the secret. They're not just numbers. They're actually telling you a story. And today, we're going to hand you the decoder ring to understand two of the biggest characters in that story, percentages and averages. You ready? Let's dive in. I mean, you've seen this a million times, right? That sign in the window of your favorite shop? It's a promise. It's kind of a lure, isn't it?
Or how about this one? The result on a test paper. It's a measure of success, right? A grade that tells you exactly how you did. And if you're a sports fan, this is a language all its own. An average that tries to sum up a player's entire performance. You see, these numbers are so common, we just kind of glance past them without really thinking about what they mean.
So, what story are they really telling us? What kind of powerful information is hiding inside that little percent sign or that AVG abbreviation? Well, today we're going to crack the code and find out. All right, let's start with the first key on our decoder ring, the percentage. And believe it or not, the name itself, it holds the entire secret. See, the word percentage comes straight from this Latin phrase per centum. And you know what that means? It literally means per 100. That's it. That's the whole secret. It's always about the number 100. This visual makes it super clear. Just imagine a whole, say, a pie or a pizza, and you've cut it into 100 perfectly equal pieces. Now, if we color in 25 of those pieces, what we're looking at is simply 25 times out of 100. And, well, that's all 25% really means. It's just a shorthand. That little percent symbol, it's just a quick and easy way to say out of 100. So, here's the key takeaway. It doesn't matter if you're talking about a pizza, a city's population, or even your phone battery. Whenever you use a percentage, you're just pretending that the whole thing is made up of 100 equal parts. Simple as that. Okay, that makes sense, right? Now that we get what a percentage is, let's get practical. It's time to open up our conversion toolkit. Because, percentages, they love to hang out with their buddies, fractions and decimals. You can think of it like this. Percentages, fractions, and decimals are basically cousins. They're all just different languages trying to describe the exact same amount. So 1/2, 0.50, and 50%, they're all just different ways of saying the exact same thing. So the big question is, how do we translate between these languages? Let's take a really common fraction, like 3/4. How would we say that in the language of percentages? Let's walk through it. It's actually a super simple two-step process. First, you just take your fraction, so 3/4, then you multiply it by 100%. That gives us 300 divided by 4. And voila, 300 divided by 4 is 75. So 3/4 is just another way of saying 75%. See? Once you know that little trick, you can convert pretty much any fraction you want. And hey, the rules for decimals? Just as easy. To go from a percentage to a decimal, you just divide by 100. A quick way to do that is just to move the decimal point 2 spots to the left. And to go the other way, from a decimal to a percentage, you guessed it, you just do the opposite. Multiply by 100 by moving that decimal 2 spots to the right. All right, we have totally decoded the percentage. Now it's time for the second key on our ring, the average. This one is all about fairness and finding that one single number that can represent a whole group. Let's use a super simple story to explain this. Imagine 3 friends, right? They've got some candies. One friend has 5, another has 3, and the last one has 7. That doesn't seem very fair, does it? The average is what answers the question, what would be the fair share? And that's exactly what an average, or the mean as it's sometimes called, really is. It's just one single number that we use to represent a whole messy group of numbers, like if everything was shared out perfectly equally. It really helps us make sense of a lot of data all at once. And get this, calculating it is incredibly simple. Just 3 steps. First, you add all the numbers up to get the total, or the sum. Step 2, you count how many numbers you just added. And finally, step 3, you divide that big sum by the count. That's it. So let's jump back to our candy example. The sum is 5 plus 3 plus 7, which is 15 candies in total. The count, well, there are 3 friends. So the average is just 15 divided by 3, which is 5. The fair share is 5 candies each. See? Everyone's happy. So there we have it. We've got our 2 keys, percentage, which is just out of 100, and average, which is all about finding the fair share. Now, let's use these to unlock the world around us and see why this stuff actually matters. Once you start looking, you'll see these two ideas are the foundation for so many of our daily decisions. They're in shopping discounts, helping you be a smarter consumer. They're in your test scores, tracking your progress. They're in sports stats, letting you really analyze the game. Weather reports, your own budget. I mean, they are truly everywhere.
And now, signs like that one from the beginning, they're not just random symbols anymore. That 20% off sign on a $10 toy, you can instantly decode it. You know that 20% of $10 is $2. That's not just a number anymore. That's real information you can actually use. The code is broken.
So consider yourself equipped. You now have a powerful decoder ring for the language of numbers. The world is just full of data, telling stories, and yeah, trying to influence your decisions. But now that you hold the keys to actually understand it, the only question left is, what are you going to uncover?